When it came to reading in 2025, I did not stick to one lane. I followed curiosity that took me through science, psychology, history, business, health, and fiction. Some books entertained me, some stretched my imagination and thinking, and a few genuinely changed how I see people and systems. Here is my 2025 reading roundup organized by genre, and I do hope you like what you will hear today. The first category was science and human behavior, and the very first book I read in this category was Behave, written by Robert M. Sapolsky. This book is about why human behaves the way they do, broken down into action that we take across what happens before seconds of that action taken, hours, years, and evolutionary time. For me, this was the most impactful book of the year because it made me think that we should be less judgmental of others and of ourselves, and we should stop seeing behavior as good or bad because it is more like layered biology interacting with environment and stress. I will highly recommend this book to you if you are a curious human being and if you feel frustrated by how people behave in a particular environment or milieu. And of course, if you like deep science backed by explanation. It is a long book, but worth the read. The second book I read in this category was Why We Sleep, written by Matthew Walker. This book explains what sleep actually does for memory, hormones, immunity, and mental health. It made me treat sleep as infrastructure, not a productivity trade-off. After this book, sacrificing sleep stopped feeling disciplined and started feeling more reckless behavior. I'll highly recommend this book to you if you care about performance, care about learning, and about longevity. And if you struggle with sleep consistently. This book is science-backed, and it is not a complete wellness fluff. So you can read this book backed by science and see that how you can bring that sleep back to your behavioral aspect of daily well-being. The third book in this category was The Molecule of More, written by Daniel Z. Lieberman and Michael E. Long. This book is about dopamine, the molecule behind desire, novelty, ambition, and addiction. It helped me understand why motivation comes in waves and why chasing more is never ending. Very grounding if you are ambitious. I will recommend this book to you if you are driven and restless, want to understand motivation and addiction, and like neuroscience applied to everyday life. The fourth book in this category was The 6 Easy Pieces, written by Richard P. Feynman. A beautifully simple introduction to physics and scientific thinking. I love this book because it was very simple and it was very easy to understand. It was not about formulas, but about thinking clearly and honestly about reality. I will recommend this book to you if you like first principles thinking, if you want science explained simply to you, and if you enjoy elegant explanations and reading. The last book in this category was The Body, written by Bill Bryson, a tour of the human body which was funny, humbling, and informative. It made me appreciate how fragile and absurdly complex our body are. This book actually went through all the different major organs of your body, very readable despite its depth. Recommend this book to you if you like science with humor, want to understand your body without reading textbooks, and if you enjoy learning casually. That brings me to the next category, which is psychology, learning, and personal growth. And the very first book I read in this category was Think Again, written by Adam Grant. This book is about the power of rethinking and changing your mind, which truly helped me to push beyond the question of certainty, especially my own. It rewards intellectual flexibility over stubborn confidence. I'll recommend this book to you if you care about learning and decision making, if you want to become less rigid, and if you like practical psychology. Next book is again written by Adam Grant called Give and Take. This explores givers and takers and matches why generosity can be long-term advantage. It reinforced my belief that helping others compounds your own gain. If you do it wisely, it can truly help you to grow as an individual as well. Recommend this book if you care about relationship and career growth, want to give without burning out, and want to have a casual read. Third book in this category is also written by Adam Grant. So I read 3 books from Adam Grant, and this book name was Hidden Potential. This book focused on growth that comes from systems, effort, and opportunity, not just talent alone. It made success feel more accessible and less mythical. I recommend this book to you if you feel late or behind. There's always a way to catch up. This book teaches you that. If you believe effort should matter more than talent. That brings me to the third genre, which is history, geography, and society. And the very first book I read in this category was Invisible Woman, written by Caroline Credo Perez. This book exposes how data gaps quietly shape a male default world. It made me far more aware about how neutral systems often aren't neutral at all. I recommend this book to you if you care about policy, design, or fairness, and if you truly want to challenge your own assumptions about male default world. The second book I read in this category was The Golden Road. This book is about knowing history about India or Eastern civilization shaped by the modern world. It broadened my historical lens beyond Eurocentric and also told me about the Eastern narratives and how India was dominant force back in the day. Recommend this book to you if you love history, want global perspective. Third book, Myths of Geography, written by Paul Richardson. The challenges simplistic idea about geography and destiny. It tells you how boundaries are human made and how they've evolved over a period of time. I'll recommend this book to you if you follow global politics, if you want to be challenged by the dogma of what you've created as boundaries in human mind. It will also tell you about how you should think about countries, regions, and how they get shaped over a period of time as political power shift and the world sees things differently. Also, when there is natural calamities, the world geography also changes accordingly. At the end, it tells you that as you think about country, nations, continent, and everything around it, it is all human created view and vision. A very intriguing book, and I'll highly recommend it to read if you are interested by geography and those concepts as such. And the last book in this category was The Rational Optimist, written by Matt Ridley. A long-form argument that progress is real despite short-term chaos. This book was grounding, especially after some of the heavier books I read, which I have mentioned before. I'll recommend this book to you if you are real pessimistic about the future, if you like data-backed optimism, and if you want to have a lighter read. That brings me to the next category, business strategy and long-term thinking. And the very first book I read in this category was 0 to 1, written by Peter Thiel, which is about building something genuinely new. It sharpened how I think about startups and innovation. It also told me that if you want to compete in this world, your product has to be 10x better. I recommend this book to you if you build products or companies, and if you want to think about startups seriously. The next book in this category, Small Giants, written by Bo Burlingham. This book was about companies that chooses greatness over scale. This book challenged the bigger is better mindset. I'll recommend this book to you if you care about culture and craftsmanship, if you do not want to build just to exit, but you want to build out of passion. Next book I read in this category was The Almanac of Neville Ravikant, written by Eric Jorgensen, which is a collection of insights on wealth, leverage, and peace from the life of Neville Ravikant. I'll recommend this book to you if you care about long-term freedom, you like philosophy mixed with practicality, and you truly want to learn how Neville Ravikant built wealth, yet he found peace in a day-to-day life. Next book, Skin in the Game, written by Nassim Nicholas Taleb. This is the second book I've read from him. The earlier one was Black Swan. Back in the day I read it. This book is about accountability and consequences. It made me more skeptical, but in a healthy way. I recommend this book to you if you question authority, if you care about real world incentives. That brings me to the fifth genre, the fiction and storytelling genre, where I read 4 books from Sherlock Holmes, written by Arthur Conan Doyle. The books were A Study in Scarlet, The Sign of Four, The Hound of the Baskerville, and The Valley of Fear. They are all-time classic. I've read it many times, and this reminded me how powerful observation and logic are. I recommend to you, if you enjoy mysteries, if you like sharp thinking, this is a book, or these are the book for you. The next book I read in this category was The Palace of Illusions, written by Chitra Banerjee Devakaruni. I really like the simplistic way she tells her story. This book was a retelling of the Mahabharata from Draupadi's perspective. It was emotional, reflective, and beautifully written. I'll recommend this book to you if you like mythology, especially Indian mythology with depth, and if you enjoy character-driven stories. The last book I read in this category was The Financial Expert, written by my favorite author, R.K. Narayan. A subtle, witty look at ambition and human folly. I'll recommend this book to you if you enjoy quiet humor, you like Indian literary fiction, and if you love R.K. Narayan. That brings me to the last category, health and longevity. And the only book I read in this category was How Not to Die by Michael Greger, who is a doctor by profession, focused on prevention through lifestyle and diet changes. It made me think more in terms of how we can make healthy choices. And it has provided a beautiful chart which you can track in terms of how much of fruits you need to have, how much of beans you need to have in your food, nuts, and so on and so forth. Highly recommend this book if you love human biology, if you want to stay healthy, and also want to learn more about how your body reacts to the food or everything you put inside it. Thank you for listening, and I truly appreciate your time here. If you have read any of these books, I would love to know more about it, which one stayed with you, what you liked about it. And if not, maybe this year you can pick one of those books, read, and let me know how you felt about it. I always believe that reading is a way you can open your mind, and I truly hope you'll do in the year 2026. Again, thank you for listening. I truly appreciate the time that you spend on my channel. If you like what you have heard, please like my channel, subscribe to it, and spread the news. Thanks once again. Bye.